In this video, I'm going to give you 6 tips for selling more invitations. So let's dive in. Hi, I'm Laney. I've been a wedding invitation designer for 10 years, and I love to teach people how to design beautiful invitations and run successful creative businesses. So if you're interested in becoming a stationery designer, definitely check out some of the resources I'll link in the description for you, and subscribe so you can get all of my helpful graphic design and stationery videos. So if you're trying to sell more of your wedding invitations, I'm going to give you 6 tips today to help you do that. And a lot of these just come down to knowing who you're trying to reach and just reaching out to them more. So number 1 is our ideal client. I have a free worksheet that I'm going to link in the description for you that you can fill out, but it's the number 1 issue I see when it comes to marketing for invitation designers. They just don't know who they're talking to. And if you don't know who you're talking to, you don't know how to speak to them. You don't know what's important to them. You don't know where they are. So you don't know where to be talking to them. For instance, if you really want to sell to an older audience, you're probably going to have more luck on a place like Facebook. If you really want to sell to a much younger audience, you're going to have more luck on a platform like TikTok, for instance. And I think we often disregard the importance of just knowing who this client is, and the worksheet's going to help you narrow them down to like one individual avatar that you'll be able to speak to in all of your social media posts, all of your marketing, all of your branding, etc. Kind of in the same vein, number 2 is only sharing work that you want to produce. So if your ideal client loves dog portraits on their wedding invitations, you should only be showing work with dog portraits on wedding invitations. Sometimes this requires creating some work for free for someone that you know, or for a smaller project, or for a styled shoot with a wedding planner, or just creating some work from scratch for no reason that you want to showcase. Sometimes this involves taking some of the work you've done and altering it a little bit, reprinting a couple copies, and only showcasing those that are a little bit altered. If you're showing work that's a style that you don't want to be creating, that's what people are going to hire you for. And if all your messaging is to this client, but all the work you're showing is to this client, you're going to have a hard time because people won't be able to opt in. They'll be like, this looks like what I want, but it doesn't sound like what I want, or this sounds like what I want, but it doesn't look like what I want. So you want to make it really, really easy for your perfect clients to opt in and self-select themselves as your clients. Sometimes this involves not showing some work you've done. It's totally okay to take a project for money on the back end and never really show it in your marketing portfolio. Number 3, kind of similar, is researching planners that match your style, budget, type of client, etc. Wedding planners are one of the best resources for finding wedding invitation clients because most of the time, people who hire luxury stationery designers have a planner, and most of the time they hire that planner before they start looking for invitations. So that's really great marketing contact for you to reach out to. But a lot of my coaching clients are like, gosh, I reached out to so many planners and I just never heard back from them, or they never gave me a job. And that's often because they're not researching planners that are going to fit their client style and budget. So if you have a great relationship with a planner and none of her clients match the type of clients that you want to have, then it doesn't matter how good that relationship is. It doesn't matter how many people she sends your way. You're just going to waste your time creating proposals that never get accepted. So the more research you can do on who these planners are, why their style really jives with your style, the type of budgets, the type of clients, the type of people that they're working with, and if they match the type of people that you want to work with, you're going to have a lot better success reaching out to them. Okay, number 4, now that we know who we're talking to, we want to reach out more often. And I promise you, anyone watching this video is not reaching out or sharing enough. It often takes up to 7 times of someone seeing your work for them to make a purchasing decision. And that could be for like a mascara or something. So imagine for wedding invitations, especially the higher end ones, you need to make sure you're sharing over and over and over again. If you're not driving yourself nuts and feeling extremely cringe, you're probably not sharing enough. Like, yes, it's annoying when clothing companies like email and text us 40 times a day, but oftentimes that ends up working for them, which is why they keep doing it. So I'm not saying to be 100% annoying, but you never know when someone is going to be able to digest the content that they see from you. You never know who's seeing it. Like if you share something on Instagram, your entire audience doesn't see it. So you need to share it a couple times before you can really guarantee that your entire audience has seen even 1 out of 10 of your posts. And then You also don't know what headspace they're going to be in, especially for wedding invitations. They have to be in that place of looking for them. They have to be engaged. They have to be planning the wedding. They have to have already planned all the other things. They have to be in that headspace of actually looking for invitations before what you share with them is going to be able to resonate. So you never know when the way that you share is going to hit someone different, hit them in a different time, a different place, a different headspace, or your messaging is going to change just slightly in a way that resonates more strongly with them than the messaging you did yesterday. So share more. Number 5 is asking for the sale. You can do this in a lot of ways. For instance, on an Instagram post, asking for the sale could be to comment, to tag your favorite engaged person who would love these invites, to go to my website and fill out an inquiry, etc. There's a lot of different ways you can ask for the sale there. Or if you're in a consult or something, you can just directly ask for the sale. We are often afraid to talk pricing, to talk, hey, do you actually want to work together? Let's get this contract signed. What's the next step? I come from a full sales background with like top Fortune companies. So this is one of my superpowers when it comes to selling wedding invitations. And I find that a lot of beginning designers are just uncomfortable asking for the sale. So when you're leaving a consult or a conversation with the client, just make sure you're asking for the sale. And the sale doesn't always have to be the money, it's just getting to the next step. And that is tip number 6, which is just focus on getting to the next step. If you're posting an Instagram post, you're not necessarily in that moment focused on getting the contract signed. You're just getting them to go to your website. And then your website should be focused on getting them to fill out the inquiry. And then the inquiry should be focused on getting them to the consult. And the consult is where you can focus on getting the sale. We often are focusing on getting the sale from the very beginning of the process, but just remembering that if you can get to that next step, you're further along in the process. And then all you have to focus on is like one small action. And that helps you just feel a little bit more comfortable with it. Helps you feel a little less salesy in a lot of cases. So for me, I know that when I send out a proposal, most of the time it comes back for some revisions because they want to do something slightly different. And then after that second proposal, if I get to that point, I most often close the deal. However, if I try to close the deal on the first proposal, I often am not going to close because that proposal is not customized and it's not exactly what they need. So when I'm sending a first proposal, I'm focusing on getting to the second proposal as opposed to focusing on actually getting the deposit and the signature at that point. So yes, you want to ask for the sale, but let's take ask for the sale and make it mean getting to the next step. So the sale in certain steps doesn't actually mean money, signatures, etc. It just means getting to that next step in the process. So as a reminder, your 6 tips for selling more wedding invitations are, first of all, know who you're speaking to, fill out that ideal client worksheet that I'm going to link for you in the description. The second one is only showing work that you want to produce, only showing your ideal work. Third is researching wedding planners who match that ideal client and ideal work. Fourth is going to be reaching out and sharing more often. Fifth is going to be asking for the sale. And then 6th is remembering that the sale doesn't always mean money or signatures. It just means the next step in the sales process. I hope this helps you sell more of your wedding invitations. It all comes down to speaking to the right people in the right time, and I can help you do that. If you want to learn more about this, definitely check out Stationery School, which is our membership just for wedding invitation designers, where we have over 60 courses you'll get instant access to when you join, and new ones coming every single month. I'll link that in the description for you. Thanks, everyone.